Well, it is Gulls Thursday, and we've got a lot to talk about. Gulls with a great couple of wins recently, and I'm not alone. I'll be joined by John Broadbent from Defend the Nest on this edition of Locked On Gulls.
You're Locked On Ducks, your daily podcast on the Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Anaheim Ducks. Today's Locked On Gulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. And this episode is brought to you by Bet Online. Bet Online has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. Bet Online is where the game starts. And let's bring him on right now. Joining me is John Broadbent from Defend the Nest. John, how you doing? Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year to you too. Good to be back.
Yeah, it's been a spell.
As you can see, I'm in my new house.
Yeah, how you liking it so far?
So good. So modern and warm.
Yeah, the only thing different here is there's a new banner up that you could see right here.
Yes. I had actually
Yeah.
properly said in person, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Massive congratulations. That is so cool.
Yeah. It'll be weird seeing Firebirds versus Gulls games and doing the PA for that. Although the only advantage I have, I know how to pronounce every single one of those names.
I was just going to say that because don't you love it when you're watching away games and the announcer's like, Nicholas Brulala.
Oh, the one that bugs me is I still hear announcers mispronounce Lukas Dostal.
Yeah, actually, I hear that one every now and then too. Or the
Yeah,
funniest one.
what's the weirdest one that you've heard for his name, by the way?
Weirdest one. No,
Yeah,
everyone just does the standard Lucas, like Dostal,
Dostal.
like Dos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's not how you say it.
yeah. Like even English-wise, how do you get those syllables from those? Yeah, like unless it's two S's, but it's not.
I've heard one announcer say Lukash.
Yeah. That's kind of like they were trying to do like Kasha, but with
Yeah,
it went home like two
it's
check on
not
it, just
quite
overthought
that.
it.
Yeah, I mean I can talk about that more in a little bit, but we've got some games to cover. Since the last Gulls Thursday, I mean, I guess I could talk for a brief spell about that little road trip the Gulls had at Milwaukee. I mean, we could talk about that for maybe just a minute.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
because that one, well, the first one was the Lukas Dos. I'm kidding. It was the Lukas Dostal episode.
Sure. Yeah,
I
that was a
mean,
fun game.
a 40 save shutout at Milwaukee. Look, Milwaukee's not a all that terrible team.
No.
They're not bad. I thought they were going to put up more of a fight. I mean, 40 shots is a big fight, and Milwaukee is one of the best teams in the American Hockey League. So for Dostal to get that shutout, 40 shots, I don't know what more I could say about the guy that I haven't already said at this
No, I
point.
know that's how I felt too. He's
And
just
there,
God, like he's in God mode now since he's come back down. It's like everything has slowed down for him,
yeah,
and it was, I gotta say, fun to see. I guess maybe that's how much I've moved on from it now, but it was fun to see Kiefer Sherwood being uh frustrated.
oh yeah, he was. I mean, we could just say that he was a little bit annoyed during
Yes,
this game. That's the
yes,
best way to put it.
yeah, and it was
Annoyed to
fun
the
to watch.
point. Yeah, to the point where when he entered the box in the third period, you could see the look on his face, and you could tell he was getting a little more pissed off as the game went on. Then he finally just laid off that cross check and just had this look like, he wanted
Yeah,
to slap someone
yeah,
at that point. I wouldn't blame him.
yeah.
That's how he is.
It also felt like it's a typical Kiefer thing where he's trying to carry the whole team. But, yeah.
It is. I mean, I personally like the guy. I mean, he was always super nice to me. So
Oh, I know. He seems like a great. I loved him when he was with the Gulls, but it's just gradually seeing him play against them has made me not like him as much because that's the kind of player he is, I guess. Um, so
Yeah,
it was fun to
he's
see.
slowly turning into that enemy.
Yes.
Slowly.
Yeah.
But just for my personal sake, still my favorite thing was the Kiefer Sherwood weird, stupid hat trick he got.
Yeah.
January 2020. It was a
Yep.
long
Yep.
time ago.
I'll always remember his first game, which I didn't actually see because I was just listening to it at the airport, I think, somewhere in Australia, I think, and just hearing him score that overtime goal. I think that was the first
Oh,
game
that's right. Yeah.
in Cleveland. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, and yeah.
But seeing him frustrated there. The second game of that roadie, not so good for the goals. I think the less we talk about that, the better, because Dostal got pulled during this game.
Yeah, and I didn't actually watch it. Um,
So I honestly watched like a little bit here and there because I wanted to see how the goals were that he gave up, and honestly, I don't think they were all his fault. I mean, one was a Schneider power play, but I think some of it was the amount of goals he gave up just in that time. It was like 14 minutes left, 13 minutes left, 12 minutes left. Like they all just happened in quick succession, and I think Dostal got a little bit shell shocked at that point. That's probably that was the only reason why I could see him getting pulled after 4 goals is Dostal was cruising. He was
oh,
cruising up until that point.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did think it was a bit
that's it.
risky playing him in the back to back. But you
Yeah.
do ride the hot hand kind of thing.
Yeah. Um Believe it or not, like I'm looking at the time up there, and I don't want to get into the last game that we played yet. I'll save that for after the intermission. But just looking at those games, defensively, the goals are starting to improve a little bit. There
Yes.
are certain guys, and I know you could attest to this, that are kind of getting shuffled around on that second line defense, right?
Yes. Yes. The Austin Strand revolving door of conditioning stints. Um, and we were saying before recording, great pairing, like Colton White, Austin Strand, when they were with the Ducks, they were consistent and great. So with the Gulls, they're even better. Sad to see Colton White go up, but he had to. And now Beaulieu's there. Works out perfectly because they're both left shots. Yes.
Yeah, it works out
Um,
fine.
yeah, Strand's a righty. Um, but Beaulieu's time will be up soon as well. And then who replaces him then? Uh,
I
Possibly,
have no
hopefully,
idea.
Josh Healy, maybe.
Hmm.
But we have no idea how the injuries are going.
Fingers crossed on that one.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
So
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that next game after this brief first intermission, but I've got to tell the fine folks about Bet Online, which is the one place that has you covered, the one place that we trust. You've heard this line before, so I'll just get on with this. Bet Online has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. Did you know that the NFL playoffs are coming right now? I don't know if you're watching it. Oh, by the
I
way,
do not.
of interest to you, BetOnline has cricket lines on there.
Hilariously, that would not be of interest to me, but my buddy who is a Kings fan who gets up at stupid o'clock in the morning, your time, to watch cricket games, which is insane to me because it's the most boring sport on the planet to me.
I
Um,
mean, I'm not a huge fan of cricket either. What I love, I love Aussie rules football.
that's fun to watch. Yeah,
That is
yeah.
fun.
It's
Um,
prison violence on the field. Um,
it's beautiful violence on the field. That's what it is. I mean, they have those lines as well. So if you are interested in Aussie rules football, like I am, head over to Bet Online right now using either your laptop or your mobile device. Bet Online, once again, is where the game starts, and Bet Online is the official online sportsbook of the Locked On Podcast Network. And please gamble responsibly, folks. All right. Well, that takes care of that. Let's talk about. We're having fun here. Let's talk about that game that happened Wednesday night. Before talking about the game itself, we got to talk about what happened before the game. And I thought this was an amazing tweet from Rocco Grimaldi's wife. Wasn't that amazing?
Yeah, yeah. I I knew she was a country singer. I don't know how popular she is because I don't like country music. But seeing that she was doing the national anthem, I was like, cool, that's cool. And I immediately picked him as my Gulls' first scorer because of that, because I'd be like, oh yeah, he's all fired up. He'll score for his wife. So pun intended there. Whoops. Um, and that didn't happen, but he did score later on.
I mean,
Oh,
he
no
scored
pun intended
twice
either.
later on.
Yeah. Oh, now you're getting dirty.
Ah, Abby Grimaldi, great recording artist. I actually sat down and I've listened to a couple of her songs, and she's got a good voice. She's good.
OG Taylor Swift kind of sound. I don't know. I haven't...
Um, Definitely folksy country a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That's
yeah, I
that's
like it.
how naive am I? Like that's the extent of my country music knowledge is Taylor Swift, and maybe that Billy
Which
Ray
is
Cyrus.
more pop than anything else.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry.
But she has a great voice. She needs to sing the anthem more often.
Oh, hey, if the girls win after she sings, yes, sing every game. Come on the road.
Is that an idea?
I know it doesn't work that way, but yes,
Every home game. Every
yeah.
home game from here on out, no matter what. She's got to sing. So, Abby Grimaldi, if you happen to be watching this on Gulls Thursday, we got to have you sing the national anthem more often because Rocco's going to get fired up for these games.
And disregard any of that stuff we just said. And
Yeah.
thanks for liking my tweet about the Drew Hunter goal.
Oh, man. So, let's talk about that fun game that we
Yes,
just saw. That was fun, wasn't it?
the Gulls win their fourth win in the last 6 games. Wait, yes,
Yeah, that's correct.
they're on the up. They are progressing. They are. I, after writing the season off, I'm starting to believe. I think they can do it.
You think so,
Um,
huh?
if they can just crawl slowly, like escaping from a fire, but a fire that's not lethal, slowly,
Mhm. Oh,
to a playoff spot, get into that playoff spot just
slowly.
before the playoff.
And I need to correct you on something. Already a correction. That's actually their 5th win in 7 games.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that sounds better.
It does sound better, actually. Yes.
I would rather talk about the Gulls and the Ducks right now, folks, as you can tell.
Oh, yeah, I haven't watched the Ducks in so long. But yeah, they're 3 points back now from the Condors and 10 points
Yeah.
back from...
Let's talk about the game first before we
Okay.
go into the standings because the way that game started off, I was a little bit upset. Now, as some of you know, I do public address for the Firebirds now, and I happen to have seen the Barracuda the night before. San Jose played a long game Tuesday night. It was a long game with reviews and delays and a 7-round shootout
Oh, wow.
where nobody scored until the top of the 7th. Good Lord, that was a long game. Like, I didn't leave the arena till 10:30. It was so long. Oh my God.
Oh, my God.
So I think San Jose was still a little bit just fired up from losing the previous night. Of course, VL and everyone's favorite William Eklund scored. But something happened during the middle of the second period involving William Eklund that
Yes.
I think you want to talk about, don't you?
Oh, that was... Yeah. So the game's played while I'm at work. I listened to the second period while I'm riding my bike home. Got home to finish the rest of it, and then rewatch the rest. When I heard that fight, first I heard the hit, then I heard the fight. I was like, William Eklund, what are you doing? And then watching it on the replay, I was like, wow, brave kid. Bad, stupid decision, but brave kid. And yeah, it's the kind of thing I know pundits will be screaming their heads off like, "You're a scorer, don't do that." But that's that's team sport.
There's something to be said about fighting above your weight class.
Yeah, and your
And
height.
and William Eklund could have taken on pretty much anyone else on the Gulls roster. I mean, Eklund isn't exactly, a big guy. I mean, like, even like when I saw him up close, like, oh, he's about my height. He's an inch shorter than me.
Oh
So,
wow.
yeah, he's only 5'11".
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna guess 5'10" or 5'11". Yeah.
yeah, Glenn Gaudan it says 6'1", but he's like 6'2". Glenn Gaudan has a few pounds on him, a longer reach, a little bit taller. Eklund definitely fought up.
It was just funny because not watching it the first time and hearing it, so the commentary is like Andy and BJ saying that he's like alternating hands as he's doing it. In my mind, I'm picturing like he's just like holding away with one hand and just uppercutting him and then just doing just toying with him.
I mean, he
Um,
tried, but
yeah, so it didn't quite live up to the expectations that I had in my head when I went to see it on replay. But still, yes, he quickly dispatched him, and it was slightly embarrassing.
yeah, I think Eklund trying to start that fight was not good.
Wasn't a good
Eklund trying
idea.
to It was not a good idea for a lot of reasons. One,
Yes.
Eklund got 17 penalty minutes out of it, so he was out for the rest of the second and most of the third. So you have that happen.
Yep.
And then Gaudan only gets 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, power play time.
Yep.
And directly from that power play, Bo knows scoring, Bo knows goals. That
And
tied
that
it
power
up.
play, yeah, that power play, they looked good in parts, but also frustratingly bad in others. Uh,
Hmm.
and it's yeah, Braden Tracy didn't have a great game, but BJ was on his ass all night tonight.
Yeah, he
Um,
was.
yeah, and it seemed a little bit unjustified in some places. It just felt like he had his number and he was just calling him out for various things. I was like, actually, no, that wasn't him. That was somebody else, but sure. Um, but yeah, he hadn't looked great, but he redeemed himself with that. Like he's it's actually because both he and the other line haven't been as firing as much lately. I feel like Salma should put he and Perot back together because they need to get some confidence back.
I mean, that's interesting that you say that because I could see where you go with that. I absolutely could. Um, I
Well, the goals
realize.
tonight.
Go ahead.
Well, like who scored the goals tonight? So the first one was,
Well,
uh,
it was Regenda.
yes. So and his
The
line,
Regenda agenda's back.
yeah, and he like they commented it on the broadcast. He's like a boy amongst men tonight. He's an NHL player. Um, and second one was that power play goal.
Was that power play
Um,
goal? And
and
then
then the
all
third
hell
one
broke
was
loose in the
Hunter.
third.
Yeah,
Yeah, Hunter
yeah.
Drew. Talk about Hunter Drew for a hot second
Oh yeah,
because
Snipe City Drew.
Snipe City.
Um, he's absolutely Snipe City. Uh, and I don't even think that was his line. He was just coming on during a line change because Grimaldi was circling the net because he was on the fourth line tonight.
Yeah, Grimaldi was kind of doing a bit of a rover role at times on
Yeah.
this game. Um, and that was kind of the one takeaway that I had was that Grimaldi was tending to stay out with longer shifts today. And he was more looking for everyone else for about 40 minutes of this game. Is he was looking to create offense and looking to create goals, which is kind of one of his better traits, I think. I mean, we know Grimaldi can score. We know he can.
Hmm.
But it's that creativity that I think still could get him. I mean, I know it probably won't this season, but it could get him an NHL contract down the line because he still has that creativity.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot lately that he seems to be opting up to pass more than shoot. Um, yeah, and but that's what I'm suggesting taking Tracy off his line and putting him back with Perot because I'm pretty sure someone put Tracy with Cromartie to get him going, and they were going for a bit, but now it's stopped, and so it's time to change it up again. I mean,
I
I
think
don't want to mess with things because they're winning, but also you could try and get some more offense. It's worth a try. They've got really great chemistry because they're friends. So
mhm.
it's yeah.
And then Rocco Grimaldi at the end, as
Yeah,
we predicted.
yeah. So he scored. Those were two really good goals. Like empty netters, but like speedy. That Regenda one where he just chased down that shot and slammed it before it got to the boards.
Yep.
That was some speed, and yeah, it's that was great to see, and
It,
it's only going to get better.
I hope so. I mean, the Gulls have some games coming up that are winnable games.
Yeah, they mentioned that the rain is slumping. I haven't been paying attention, but
The Rain had a 7-game losing streak.
holy cow!
Yeah. The Rain are in trouble right now. They're kind of in danger of losing that playoff. I mean, they're kind of not, but they're in danger of getting to that 6-7 spot very easily. The only difference, they have a lot of games in hand. But, I mean, one of their biggest struggles has been Cal Peterson. And that's going to be very interesting these next couple of games. Like, who's going to win that goalie matchup? Actually, we could talk about that for maybe like a hot minute
Yep.
after this intermission because we are up against it. But I mean, I gotta do this. So if you don't mind sticking around while I talk about,
Sure.
some stuff. So we'll talk a little bit more about upcoming games and a little bit more about the goals. We'll get to that on the other side. But first, let's talk about Built Bar, which is the best tasting protein bar ever. Built Bars contain at least 17 grams of protein at only 130 calories and come in many fantastic flavors covered in chocolate fondue. And there's many great puffs flavors. My favorite is still the churro puff. Still my favorite. So if you
Yum.
want to try it for yourself, head over to built.com right now and use promo code. It's a new promo code, by the way. Locked on 15 gets you 15% off your next order of Built Bar, the best tasting protein bar ever. Okay.
Yum.
Yum. So we talked about the games.
Yes.
It's looking good lately. These are big tests coming up in the Ontario Reign.
Yes.
Dostal's just come off of some impressive performances. 29 saves against the Barracuda. Those were good. Oh, especially lately. Dostal has been just killing it, 29 saves, a 40 save shutout, a 39 save shutout. He's looked solid since the turn of the calendar. Since then, he's been lights out.
New year, new bakery.
I think I gotta name that episode New Year, New Bakery.
He's
Because, I mean, that's pretty much it,
dialed in.
right?
He's dialed in. He's playing like he did at the end of that one season where he dragged them into the playoffs. Well, were they fighting for a playoff spot then? I can't remember. Yeah, they were fighting for the playoff
were.
life. Yeah. And he was single-handedly just keeping them in that game, and then couldn't. Yeah. And that's just like I've been saying all season. He'll win. He'll steal wins. That's the kind of goalie he is. He will steal a win if he gets the goal support. So all he needs is one goal.
We
And-
saw that when he was with the Ducks.
Yeah.
Once he got the support. Gee, imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine resting John Gibson or letting him have time off and playing Dostal for the Ducks, and look how well they did.
I mean, and I'm first and foremost a Gulls fan now, and so it does hurt me when our best players go up. I know, you have to accept the fact they're going to go eventually.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to feel better about just what I read today. I heard from, oh no, that's bad. I'm forgetting his name. The play-by-play guy for the Oilers, because he replied to one of my tweets.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he replied to one of my tweets just because I accidentally said, it's been a while since the Ducks have sent a prospect to the Oilers, which I meant to say it's been a while since the Ducks sent a goaltender to the Oilers.
Mhm.
because they've sent Alexander down. And I was interested to see what kind of game time he'd get, because I know they've got a couple of goalies there already. And so he replied saying, there are other guys starting tonight, but Alexander's already played a game and played really well and won the game, only allowing 2 goals. So
It's not bad.
yeah, so it's good to hear they've got somebody in the wings, possibly, other than Kelly Klang, who we don't hear much about, other than every now and then he backs up Rogel.
Rogel, yeah.
Rogel, yeah. So, mysterious phantom acquired goalie, are you going to come here next year, maybe?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Or maybe it could be Gage Alexander.
Yep.
So
I don't have
that could...
expectations for him because of when he was drafted, but it'd be good if he emerged. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a couple of goalies that I think could emerge next season that are still playing in juniors right now. So, I mean, it feels like the Gulls will at least have options for next year.
Yeah, it sounds like the
feels
Ducks' plan is to have Dostal go up and Klang come across. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, look what happened with Dostal a few years ago. I mean, I saw Dostal being that guy, and he crossed, and look how well he did. I mean, but we saw, you and I saw Dostal being that guy.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I think we knew all along.
Yes. Just through seeing his performances and highlights and everything he can do. And
by the way, this episode will be called Lukas Dostal. New year, new bakery.
Good. Because segueing onto that, he's been announced as the All-Star.
Yes, you were right on it for me. Dostal will be the Gulls All-Star in the 2023 All-Star game in Laval, Quebec, Canada. Yes, they're actually going to play it this year. Yay.
Finally.
After 3 years.
So happy to Laval people.
Trivia, the last All-Star game was played in my backyard, practically.
Which I forgot because that's how long ago it was.
Yeah, the 2023 All-Star game will be in Laval. It was supposed to be in 2021, but that was the shortened year. It almost happened last year in 2022, but all those games got postponed in late December, early January, so they postponed last year's All-Star game. This year, we've got it in Laval, and Dostal is the All-Star. Let me go over the Pacific All-Stars really quickly for each team. So we have Christian Wolanin from the Canucks. Fine. Seth Griffith from the Condors.
Yeah,
fine.
That's understandable. Yeah.
These two, no surprise. Matt Phillips from the Calgary Wranglers and Dustin Wolf. No surprise there.
No, a very obvious choice there. Yeah.
Yeah. The two Firebirds, Riker Evans, and someone that we're familiar with, Andrew Podorowski.
The pod injection.
Just to be a little personal here, getting to announce Andrew Podorowski on the public address is so fun.
Oh man, I don't know if you've got employment rules over there, but if there's a time where you can sneak in a whole pod injection or something, that'd be pretty good.
I think I'd get fired for that. That'd be fun though.
If there's a game on the 20th of April.
Oh God. I will. Okay, April 20th. What day of the week is that? That is a Monday, so no, that's a Thursday, so probably not.
Okay.
Oh, we love Potsy around here. Former San Diego goal. We're not surprised he's an All-Star.
No, not at all.
No. Other All-Stars. Brad Hunt from the Eagles. Danil Miramonov from Henderson. Sure. TJ Tynan from the Reign. No surprise there. We mentioned Dostal. Bordalo from the Barracuda,
which they talked about tonight. Yeah,
and Michael Carconi from the Roadrunners.
the one-man power play.
Yep. I'm not really shocked by any of those. Um, I
It's
think
a
the
strong team.
what was that?
It's a strong team.
That's a very strong team. I
Yeah.
think the only thing I would maybe replace, or I would maybe like switch a couple guys. I'd probably put Lias Anderson from the Rain in there and Sheldon Rempal from the Silver Knights. That might be the only changes I make just because they have somewhat stronger years, but that's it.
Yeah, yeah. It is. And I don't know what the regulations and rules are regarding how many veterans they can pick.
For the All-Star game, none.
None.
None. Nope. It's whoever's the
It's whoever's
best.
playing the best.
You know who was one name that I thought could have been a second All-Star for the Gulls if Dostal had been called up long enough? As far as skaters, the only like the big name that comes to mind aside from Grimaldi, Brouillard.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he deserves it. Yeah, he does. I thought, the name that springs to my head is Drew Helson, but um,
I like
he's
Drew a
only
lot.
sort of just coming on now. But yeah,
Yeah,
Briard deserves. He's been consistent.
what's the nickname for him?
Oh, Honey Badger.
Honey Badger.
Honey Badger does not give an F.
No, he
Um,
doesn't.
he
I'm sorry, I just love that nickname.
is though.
It's true. So
That's
those
only,
are the
that's my response.
those are
Only
the all
response to you.
stars. Yeah. Oh, I love this. So those are the all stars for the Pacific Division. The All Star Game. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend it this year, but it takes place first weekend of February, February 5th and 6th. And hey, that'll be on AHL Network. So that'll be fun. Check it out, y'all. It's going to be
Yes,
a
definitely.
blast. And you know what I bet's going to happen? I'm going to make a prediction just because I'm going to be a homer right now. I think Dustin Wolf and Lukas Dostal are going to make some spectacular stops.
I
Just
agree.
like Anthony Stolar. Remember what Anthony Stolars did in Ontario 3 years ago?
Yes,
That
yes,
was a crowd of mostly Ontario fans.
yes,
Now, there were 150 Gulls fans there. By the way, love the Gulls fans.
yes. Love you guys.
Oh my god. They made so much noise every time Stolars made an impressive stop. Remember the crowd cheer when he had that like super like split eagle save in the All-Star game?
Yes,
Stoli
yes,
did. And the
yeah,
whole crowd cheered. And even
yes.
and even me downstairs, I'm like, oh damn.
He's getting Rain fans to cheer for him. Yeah,
He
yeah,
did.
um, yeah. The only thing I worry about with All-Star games is the goalies. Just please don't get injured.
Yeah.
Making an amazing save.
But if you make an amazing save, I will just be like, woohoo!
Yeah,
Yeah.
do all the Will Mills saves you want, but don't do the whole splits and kill your ankle saves, please.
You know, I can't believe Stoli pulled out like the splits in that All-Star game. I was like, really? He didn't get hurt though.
Yeah, true. Just because I
Yeah.
keep saying no.
And a big surprise to all the fans watching Locked On Gulls, we're not going to be finished because John and I still have a lot more to talk about, including some junior stuff. So this does kind of relate to Gulls/Ducks, but we've got a lot of juniors talk as well.
Yes. So
So,
I'm talking about this in my post game notes for my game as well, so I've got it all here in front of me. But
yeah. But yeah, so we're not done. We're going to have a bonus episode with John Broadbent. So yeah, double time, baby. You excited?
yeah,
Yeah.
we're not done.
So we're just going to wrap up here while I say that, John, thanks for coming on. And
Very
tell
much
all
welcome.
the fine folks where they can find your work and find you online.
Defendthenest.com. That is www.defendthenest.com. defendthenest.com, and on Twitter, defendthenest.sd. That is defendthenest.sd. And every now and then I'll spam my stuff on Reddit and Facebook, and in the Gulls community on Facebook, and still looking for more writers. And I've got a brand new microphone, and I'm going to do a podcast. I promise.
Yay! And John will be back with us shortly. We're going to talk more Gulls and juniors. We got to talk about juniors because there was some bonkers trades we got to talk about.
Hell yes.
Yeah. Just a reminder to all the folks watching that you can catch Locked On Ducks and Locked On Gulls on Thursday on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, now on Amazon Music, by the way, and on YouTube as well. And if you watched yesterday's episode on YouTube, I apologize. That last game against the Oilers was ugly. Yeah, you heard me rant big time. Those are the kind of games that'll take me from 0 to pissed off quickly. So, but it's all fun, I guess. John, thanks a lot. Go ahead.
Just know that pain is temporary. That's my mantra for the season. Pain is temporary.
But alcohol's forever. Anyway, we're gonna talk more about junior stuff on the next episode. On behalf of John and myself, thanks for watching. Thanks for your continued support. On behalf of John and myself, for Locked On Gulls, I'm JD Hernandez saying, have a great rest of the day, evening. Please continue to be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Be kind to all the Ducks and Gulls fans. We need it. And Ducks and Gulls fly together. Caca, caca.
Bye. Bye.